Good morning. We're certainly not going to be in the warm climes of Italy, and Alexandra David-Neel was a bit abstaining as a practicing Buddhist. And so the experience is quite a contrast from what we've been listening to. This will be another course that I've been teaching with OLLI over a number of years now, which explores the issue of pilgrimage and literature, the movement of people who are passionately engaged and who record this in other than a travelogue. Alexandra David-Neel certainly was eccentric. She was a Belgian who ran away from her family at a very early age, constantly being brought back by her upper middle class household. She longed to be of the world and in the world. The course is not, however, a biography. Alexandra David-Neel becomes a kind of archetype of a sisterhood of women who chose, in the early part of the 20th century, through hippiedom, who chose to explore the world because of a passionate vision. In Alexandra David-Neel's vision, this was of stripping away the kind of esotericism that had reduced, or if you will, dumbed down the importance of Buddhism. And she was a great scholar, wrote a number of books that dealt exclusively with Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism. This course, however, is not a course in Tibetan Buddhism. In 6 weeks, we could hardly get past Bardo, the death approach, the Book of the Dead. It's rather a taste of one woman's concern about the realities of Tibetan Buddhism through the lens of a fictional figure in a novel that she co-wrote, Alexandra David-Neel, co-wrote with her chum, a young man, we'll learn more about him, a Lama, whom she adopts. And in her iconic book, some of you, I suspect, have read her book on the journey to Lhasa. She had traveled with him as the Lama's mother, dressed as, in those days you could not enter the forbidden land of the snows. This was in the 20s. Dressed with shoe polish to disguise that she was a European woman, and managed to get to Lhasa. And with the blessings of Dalai Lama 13, the book that we're going to trek through, and it is a bit of a trek, is a novel called The Power of Nothingness. In my own experience in reading this kind of literature, I don't know anything comparable in 130 pages that will teach you more about Buddhism and about the immersion in a particular form, Tibetan Buddhism. It's a novel that starts with a murder. So it's a mystery story, a detective story, as well as mystery in the profound spiritual sense of seeking and questing mystery, the turquoise jewel. The course itself is interactive. We read, we talk. Each meeting, I will develop a form of contextualization, which will look at different aspects of Tibetan Buddhism so that the novel itself has some meaning. But this is a course where we share. And I hope some of you have been in Tibet. The Tibet of Alexandra David-Neel is not the Tibet of today. Some of you know that there are at least 2 major Tibetan communities in the East Bay, and we might want to talk about whether an additional field trip would be appropriate. We'll certainly be involved in the course during Tibetan New Year on February 19th. So we will be aware of a novel, a person, an experience that took place in the last century, but very topical in 2015, where the relation between Tibet and China continues to be a very difficult one. I think that's all I want to say, except that this book is out of print, horrendously expensive on the web if you've tried to get it. It's like about $60. But I will be Xeroxing this volume, and you'll be able to purchase it on the first day of class, I guess, for about $5. So I look forward to seeing you. I enjoy this literature. I hope you'll join me in not being self-abnegating, because Alexandra David-Neel was never that, but adventurous and passionate and a true pilgrim. Thank you.
Great, thank you.